actually can't wait till she starts talking about the actual lore. So I can reject it and insert my own.
To find out how the problem in the book is similar to the one we're facing in real life. After we read through these pages, we engage in the actual story, helping the characters in it by actively changing the story.
Yeah. And sometimes you're really bad at it. Like you accidentally make Bo Peep into a sociopath by changing no more hints to 0 more hints. I really hope she mentions that.
Which, guess what? Any story can apply to the problem you're dealing with if you're changing the story. More on that later. Usually the order of them using their power goes, especially in the first season, Alpha Pig, one of the girlies. It's gotta be one or the other. Usually it's Princess P. And
yeah, because apparently everybody hates Red. Though she's probably gonna back that up by saying, well, rhyming isn't very useful. Well, neither is spelling. Nobody uses it anymore. Like nobody uses spelling anymore. Usually usually the way we deal with spelling is autocorrect, and heck, to the point where that's all we use.
Then Super Y. Super Y always has to go last, and even though every single character has a catchphrase, it always just feels like he's doing the most.
Super Y to the rescue!
That's sped up dialogue.
Jesus, ow. Finally, they jump out of the book, solve the problem they were facing, and then they dance.
I like your dance moves.
So that's the format and basic rundown of the characters. Now let me tell you why none of it makes sense.
Okay, I can't wait for this. Now, before we get on with this lore, I gotta say, hey, something else in terms of the episodes I've so far watched. It's just so far through the entirety of all the episodes I've watched, The Boy Who Drew Cats is my favorite. Really, I love his character, and I love what I was able to do with it. Like, do with his lore, even when he shows up in a singular episode. I was able to make him a main character in an entire video game. Hey, luckily the name wasn't that much of an issue since the game I put him in just inserted a name for him. Which that was a good thing because the story neglected to give him a name. Which I actually incorporated into his lore, saying his parents abandoned him and didn't bother giving him a name. Okay, back to the true lore.
The way they go about doing their powers are different, but it's essentially all the same. I'll give Wyatt this. He changes the structure of a sentence, plop words out of a sentence, put new words in, changing the meaning of an entire phrase. None of the other ones do that.
Oh, you're talking about Red next. Well, I'll just talk about Wyatt's powers. And usually, he'll end up changing a sentence to the point where it's weird and it doesn't make sense. That's where most of the comedy comes from, apparently. Though with changing no more hints to 0 more hints, it's like, that's not even funny, that's just stupid. Now go on, talk about Red.
It focuses on rhyming and the structure of a word. Princess P and Alpha Pig both...
Oh, that was great. And they both what?
Spell. Princess P emphasizes...
Oh yeah! A pig basically spells hells a bunch of the time. Except there is a difference. Occasionally, Pig will have a map and guide the way. But he is spelling a lot of the time, which is very stupid. Like, they could just not use him in many episodes, unlike Red, and the series wouldn't change that much. They could have Princess P, like, help twice. I said a couple episodes and the series wouldn't change.
Sizes the sound each letter makes sounding out the word, while Alpha Pig, whatever the hell he is.
More like Beta Pig, am I right?
Beta. The beta version of Pig.
Will just announce the letter itself and select it out of the entire alphabet, but it's annoying that when it comes down to it, they do the exact same thing. I think the best use of Pig's alphabet power is when we're on a trail, and to get to where we need to go, we
Yes, that's what I was just talking about.
have to say the alphabet in order, or we need to match the uppercase letter with the lowercase letter. There are
Oh, they do that later in the series? I'm sorry, I only watched season 1 as a kid. But I'm glad they clarify the difference between uppercase and lowercase later in the series. Though, since Super Y taught me slower than an actual school, I was able to learn the uppercase and lowercase letters from Letterland. And in case you wonder what that is, it's like this elementary school thing where they have mascots for each letter, and it's like they give them their own personas and stuff. They even made an entire movie about how the duck representing D being a detective. It was a weird franchise. I don't talk about it anymore. Okay, back to Super Y.
times when it's just about the letters, as it should be. As I scoured the internet, very unsurprisingly, there was somebody complaining about the same thing on Reddit, specifically on the Daniel Tiger.
The Daniel Tiger conspiracy? You're on the wrong subreddit! r/lost redditors. Yeah.
Conspiracy subreddit. And what I love about this thread is that some people can completely brush aside the power complaint thing, but then they'll go on to comment a brand new qualm, ignoring what OP said entirely, turning this thread into essentially a Super Y vent forum.
Super Y Fed Forum? What does that mean? I've never been in a Fed Forum before. But if there's really a Super Y fandom Reddit out there, I am going to join it.
Which is exactly what I'm doing now. God, I love the internet. It's truly a magical place. Speaking of magical places...
How are they all related to fairy tales?
Quickly,
What the fuck was that? Let's discuss how each of these
That was a nice clip.
characters are in Storybook Village. Red is the only one who is the main character of a fairy tale. Princess Peach
Yeah. Red is like the only one who is actually the fairy tale character herself. The rest are just related to the character.
is not the princess from Princess and the Pea. That is her mother,
Which is not canon in my lore.
which means that canonically her mother named her after the pea. Why?
That's so not in my lore, though. How, fuck the Princess of the Pea. Hey, we have Princess Celestia as a mom.
His older brother is Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk, which is why his full name is apparently Wyatt Beanstalk.
Yeah, I literally had to write that in Tomodachi Life and not be weirded out. Though I spell Wyatt's name wrong intentionally, actually, too. Like, I spell it at W-I-A-T-T. Even though it's supposed to be spelled like it is right here. But I guess I have to stop complaining right now. Time to call it a party.